we got a little bit of a treat for y'all. It's Kaido. Okay, let me stop. So, disclaimer, and this is a serious disclaimer. I want y'all to understand something here. Kaido's tough to build a deck for. He falls into a couple of categories, not a couple, probably just one primary category. What makes a leader bad is traditionally two things. One, if the leader can't attack. And two, if the leader ability can barely be used, right? A leader ability that is once per match is usually going to be a leader that just sees no play or can't see play. And Kaido falls into that bracket. That this leader ability, I truly feel like it was deliberately designed to be used once per match. And that's just set it up for failure, I guess, especially as the meta evolved and got crazier. So it's like, okay, how do we do what we need to do? And of course, Black Maria, the card that came out to really assist this leader, you just got to see it in action. It's going to allow you to use your leader ability multiple times. But the other factor here is, Kaido traditionally wants you, let me take a step back in my explanation. Kaido traditionally wants you to be at 2 or 1 life so you can close the game out. Of course, your board needs to be built to some degree, but 2 to 1 life, right? So for Kaido, that's lethal. Usually, depending on your setup and the board situation, 2 to 1 life is just already lethal because of that ability. So the general idea was get real top heavy, rush your Dawn count, right? Ramp, and then just start big drop in and then just assault, pressure. And, hopefully you can force your opponent into the win condition that you're looking for. So with this deck, the idea here is to utilize the Impel Down characters have the special text of Banish and Zora does too. Banish and double attack. So these things can help you with your win condition. So double attack more so can help you get to your win condition faster, while the banish at least can control your opponent's resources. Because, usually people counter out a banish, and if they don't, at least they don't get the card. So that's the general idea. So we're showing off the deck list now is because it's tough to build Kaido regardless. And maybe this ideology, this way of thinking can spark some ideas from other deck builders in the community. So we're showing off the deck early. Mind you, once again, we're showing off the deck early. This isn't like a finalized build or anything like that. This is just an idea, and we're showing off the idea, right? And we're just, at the end of the day, trying to see if the community can come up with something. Oh, wow, we're just attacking the... it did look like a great opportunity to go for life. Oh, no, he's pumped. Okay, forget it. Anyway, maybe the community can come up with an idea that can advance on this ideology here. So it's like, double attacks and banish. Maybe all this stuff can help, just reach that game state, especially double attack more so. I would say the double attack can really rush the game state that Kaido would want. For obvious reasons, right? It's 2 damage instead of 1. So hopefully they come out with something. At this point, come out with starter decks. You guys Bandai, you guys put the idea of starter decks, buffing old leaders and stuff like that. You kind of put that out there. So that's what we're going to be expecting. Help get some leaders their opportunity. Oh, now we get the Onigashima. Help leaders get their time to shine. All right. Help leaders get their time to shine. And come out with a starter deck for Kaido so we can essentially use that leader ability maybe twice a game, 3 times. It is okay, respectfully, it is scary to use Kaido's leader ability multiple times because it might be just too broken to use multiple times. I'm not too sure. I don't know. That's up in the air now, right? When you think about it, make it. Well, then again, we don't know where the game would be in the future, right? The game might be in a position where it's like, oh yeah, it don't matter. Kaido can use his ability 8 times. It won't matter. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! Nah, I don't think this game will ever become like Yu-Gi-Oh! But anyway. No, yeah. I really do hope they come out with something to help buff this leader. It's been one of the leaders that it's been really difficult for me to come up with something. So the Impel Down strategy, these Impel Down cards. We've had Impel Down Kaido before, but it's like in a different direction. It's not a purple deck. It is a deck with a purpose, right? And this is the purpose. So that's essentially what I'm saying. I think the trigger just ramps. I think we have an opportunity to play Onigashima because that does leave a lot of Dawn open. Oh, I mean, we could try to push for game. Interesting circumstance. Kind of funny. I mean, we still got our Zoro that has the banish. But unless we top deck Black Maria, we can't afford to use our leader ability. It would be great if we had gotten Onigashima on the board, because then we could have just had Kid, Onigashima, 3 Dawn, and then 2 Dawn. I mean, overall, their resources are very depleted. So now, Ace is in that game state where lethal is threatening. We have 2 blockers up, an attacker that they have to try to get off the board at this point. They can't afford to leave that Zoro on the board, and Big Mom and Leader Swing. They can't leave that life because of Ace's ability. So they get the pump. Essentially, if we can just break through. So we got too many swings. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 swings, 2 life, leader ability, essentially just 1 life. They gotta be able to stop 4 swings. Oh wow. We can't save it, respectfully. If we do that, okay. Well, this is what I would say. I would say pop that blocker. Yup. Ramp. Oh, we're just gonna burn the life immediately? I respect it. Yeah, because then they don't get counter power in their hand. And then, yeah, too many attacks. And when you think about it, this match, we got to play Kaido's ability twice thanks to getting Black Maria. All right, my bad. I completely forgot to even discuss the cards in the deck. So is that Bohan or something? Forgive me if I'm not pronouncing, because I can't really see the cards anyway with the small screen that I'm using currently. And okay, so where was I? Where's my brain? My brain is farting gas. That card is essentially just to help us look at the opponent's hand, so it makes it easier to tell if we have game or not, right? So that's the point of that card, just to make it a little easier. That's what I was thinking of. God. Okay. Well, let me finish the first thought. So essentially, if you think you got lethal or you're very close to it, you play it. You look at 2 cards. Information is so crazy effective in One Piece. The moment you see, oh, they got 4 cards in hand, and let's just make this analogy very easy. They got 4 cards in hand. You look at 2, and they're just bricks, no counter, right? So rule of thumb is you just always assume every card is 2K, 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 right? And then you got to cross your fingers, with the law of probability, like, okay, I have to swing like this in order for me to have a chance. I gotta hope they don't have this many 2Ks. But you look, now it's just bricks, and it's like, okay, the most they can have is 2Ks. So the moment I swing for 9, it's a wrap. Like, you could think of it that way. So yeah, so because Kaido, this deck is built, this particular design is built to put the opponent in a game state condition, right? We have our situation that we're looking for. We try to put our opponent in that position. That card just simply helps us find out if we got it now, maybe next turn, yada yada. I feel like the card at some point, somewhere down the line in One Piece, whether it could be now or in the future, that card will see play. The card that looks at 2 cards in your opponent's hand. I know right now it's like, yeah, right, whatever. But trust me, information is so crazy strong in One Piece. You would be surprised how often a person has game, but they don't know they have game because they don't know what's in the opponent's hand. But it's just like wild often. Okay, cool. Now, the other concept is try to fish for your Black Maria. You want your Black Maria almost more than you want your Onigashima. But the way it's set up, the way we try to orchestrate the deck is you have Onigashima, you have Black Maria, you have 5-drop Kid, right? Now, Black Maria is easy and self-explanatory. Can easily get you back the Don you're looking for. Very comfortably, right? So it's no big deal. You don't really have to think about it that hard. Cool. Now, what is the backup plan if you don't get Black Maria? Well, the backup plan is to hopefully have an Onigashima in play and a 5-drop Kid in play. So if you have those 2 cards in play, at least it softens the damage. At least it softens the damage for you. You'll get 2 Don back. Ooh, nice setup. 2 banish attackers. There you go. So now, essentially, we probably got game next turn, considering. Anyway. Oh, we're attacking with Kaido. Okay, cool. So, where's my brain at? So yeah, in the event that we don't get back Black Maria, because it's self-explanatory, it's real easy. You know, you just burn, use effect, yada yada, right? Nothing special with how to manage Black Maria, right? But the backup is Onigashima, 5-drop Kid, burn 7, get 2, you'll be at 5. Next turn you'll be at 7. At least you could just ramp with Onigashima, be at 8. So you only go 1 turn outside of your 10 Don state. See, Black Maria can just put you right back into your 10 Don state. Gives you 5, next turn you get 2. You burn in 7, right? Gives you 5, next turn you get 2. That's the benefit of Black Maria. But, you know, at least Kid and then Onigashima. Okay, I should say Onigashima and 1 Kid, because obviously you can control how many kids you have on the board, but you can't control, you only get the 1 Onigashima to put in play. Ooh, good stuff. So, yes. So obviously if you get Onigashima and 2 kids on the board, that's even better. So on and so forth. Y'all get it. But yes, that's the backup to not having Black Maria, is to hopefully have Onigashima in play and 1 blocker Kid in play. At least 1. Minimum 1. You want to at least recover 2 Don, because burning 7 is very excessive. And of course, recovering 2 Don makes it easier for you to play your 9-drop Kaido, to play it comfortably, right? You pop 5, you get 2 back, you only burn 3. Next turn, you get 2 back, you're right back at 9. So, I mean, you're technically still outside of your 10 Don state. You always want to come back to your 10 Don state as often as possible, but hey, it is what it is, you know? And if we're lucky to get Onigashima immediately, like you just saw, first turn, boom, put it down, you're going to be able to ramp at least a turn ahead of your opponent anyway. So having 1 turn outside of your 10 Don state wouldn't be the end of the world. So I think I covered everything. Feel free to ask any questions in the comments. Now, Big Mom, it's just a big body that can just help you. That's about it. Feel free to play her or not play her if you feel like she's too counterintuitive to the deck style. but she's a big body that can just kind of help us stay afloat, help us remove something off the board, help us cycle a card that's a dead card at the moment, that's a brick, So yeah, but once again, we're showing this deck off a little early. I believe there's still something to be looked at, but ultimately, it's just difficult. It's just difficult to come up with a good build for Kaido. I felt like other leaders are just easier, and that might sound weird because I'm sure you guys can say to yourselves, nah, these leaders are absolute trash. Ain't no way you can, but for some reason, even though it feels like Kaido should be playable or should have stuff to play, it just never gels. And that's why I'm feeling like he's one of the hardest leaders to make a good or even decent deck with. I just don't know what it is. I mean, even Vivi, it's constantly just resurfaces. But Kaido, it's like an athlete that got injured and had to retire, and then has to watch the newer generation come back from the same injury, within a week because medical science is better, right? So yeah, other bad leaders just seem to be easier to make something legit with them. But when it comes to Kaido, it's a bit of a struggle. So we're putting this deck list out there. Hopefully it sparks some ideas. Of course, we'll come back to it, but we're just prioritizing. But I felt like the idea, I felt like there's something there, and I just let me put this out and see what the community can see. See, boom. That's kind of something you want, right? We got rid of that extra Onigashima and gained a life. And we don't want them drawing, so there you go. We bottom deck that Sabo. Now, hopefully, like I said, you always want to see Black Maria. That's always going to be a card you want to see. I guess the debate is, I say go for board. Same power as leader, so it's all resource. It's either cards out of hand or cards off the board. So now our board is looking pretty strong going up against Slim. Big Mom can just attack characters. Zoro can attack life. And we have a Zebra and a Minotaur in our hand, which can just help us quickly push through their life. X-Drake is a 2K counter, but on the back end, if you can technically just play him and get a card out your opponent's hand, so there might be these scenarios where it's I'm gonna do that. You get it? So that's why he's there. Well, we have 10 down to play with. I'm sure we want to get that card off the board, so we're probably thinking of how much down to put on Big Mom to make that swing. That is a lot. Yeah, at this point, okay. I was gonna say, at this point, it just looks like we're trying to put all the Dawn except for 3. But we left it at 4. Now, I'm low-key gonna assume we're gonna play Black Maria and then play the Search to see if we can get a backup Black Maria. That's my theory. Yep, and they just technically crippled themselves, to be honest. That's probably what I would do. Just play Black Maria, search for another one, and burn a life. Okay. The question is, are we going to play the event to search? Yes, there we go. We didn't get to see a Black Maria. We went with counter power, and I respect it. And if Lim cannot get Black Maria off the board, toxic. Burn, burn, burn. That's truly why Black Maria exists. Just so you can try to get Kaido to use his ability over and over again. Now, it's kind of funny because it's well, if this exists, why isn't Kaido playable? Because of board removal. Yes. Sorry, I'm doing it again. Board removal kind of F's up a lot of stuff in this game. A lot for this game. You know? It's just toxic. It is what it is. It just... Yeah, I hope that they find a way to utilize the list to put board removal in check a lot better. But that's what it technically does. It cripples a lot of cards. It cripples a lot of decks. It cripples a lot of creativity. You know, so forgive me if it's like, I'm tired of hearing you talk about this. But it's the game we play. It is what it is. It's a part of the situation and we can't ignore it. Ooh, can we play that? Please? Okay, so they got that. They got counter power. Now we know the bare minimum. We have to put more than 4 Dawn. So we have to put more than 4 Dawn on our Big Mom in order to KO that. Now we know information. We have to. Yep, you have to. I ain't gonna lie, I did wish they didn't have so much counter power in hand. Also, we're gonna just go for 4 over exact? Okay. No, wait, what are we doing? Why are we swinging that much? That says 8 Dawn attached, right? All we needed was 6 Dawn attached. I don't know. I don't know why we did that. Was it just for the fun of it? Because it didn't matter? I guess so, right? No, because then we could have just used the Dawn on Zoro. No, they took the life anyway. It doesn't matter. It just literally didn't matter. I can stop talking about it now. But I ain't gonna lie. Not being, if the board removal was weak, just real quick, you know, this ain't bashing board removal right now. Respectfully, if board removal was weak, this would probably be a bannable combo. Black Maria and Purple Kaido. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it'll probably be a bannable combo. Like, burning a life every turn is absolutely sickening. Yep. And we know 2 cards already. Information. We literally know the 2 cards that's in hand. Yup, Zoro. Burn. Kaido ability. And then just attack. This is actually disgusting. Well, G. Thanks for watching, and hope this sparks some creative juices. No Diddy.